They thought they were in for the time of their lives. 5 children, 1 chocolate factory, a lifetime supply of sweets. Little did they know what William Harvey Wonka had in store for them. Tonight on Newsline, the shocking story of the Candy Man. It all started out innocently enough. Mr. Willy Wonka, a reclusive candy maker, was throwing open the doors of his famed chocolate factory to 5 lucky people who found one of 5 golden tickets hidden in one of Wonka's chocolate bars. An amazing prize that created a mad dash around the world, as crazed consumers bought every Wonka bar they could find in an effort to be one of the lucky winners. Slowly but surely the tickets were found. There was the German boy, Gustus Gloop, who loved Wonka's delicious treats. The wealthy Veruca Salt. The spunky, gum-chewing Violet Beauregarde. The all-American boy, Mike Teavee. And the feel-good winner, Charlie Bucket, who came from a life of poverty. Envied by their friends in the world, little did these so-called winners know that their dream would turn into a nightmare. Looking back, it was easy to see the warning signs. After so many years of being a recluse, why did Mr. Wonka decide to open his factory now? Was he merely trying to send his candy sales through the roof? Or did he have a sinister, ulterior motive? What was William Harvey Wonka thinking on that fateful day? And what exactly happened behind those closed doors? Lawyers for the Wonka Candy Company refused to make Mr. Wonka available to Newsline, but they did release this statement. Quote, "While the events of that day were tragic, they were entirely accidental and the result of bad choices made by the contest winners. We have provided assistance to the families despite not needing to do so, since the winners signed an extensive legal waiver form before embarking on their tour. Mr. Wonka is saddened by the events of that day and wishes to make no further statements on this subject." End quote. Accidental? Bad choices? Sure, maybe one child might have gotten in some trouble, but all of them? Not too many specifics are known about what happened behind Mr. Wonka's closed doors, but Newsline has been able to piece together some sketchy information based on reliable sources. This information paints a troubling tale of a dream come true becoming a living nightmare. It all started in front of the entire world. Mr. Wonka, who hadn't been seen in years, hobbled out of his chocolate factory like an aged cripple. The crowd gasped. Had the once spry Willy Wonka become a shriveled old invalid behind closed doors? Apparently not, because the crafty candy man performed a perfect somersault. It was just one of his tricks. The first of many that day, it seems. The prize winners were then allegedly ushered into a fiendish cloakroom, where disembodied hands grabbed at them, and a confusing contract was presented. Given little chance to pore over the voluminous document, the children were goaded into signing it, often against his or her parents' wishes. Little did they know that Wonka's fiendish contract would come into play later. The first victim was Gustus Gloop. Details are sketchy, but it is believed that he was either pushed or fell into a flowing river of chocolate. Why Mr. Wonka has a flowing river of chocolate running through his factory, and why it has no safety fence around it, is unknown. Little Augustus was reportedly alert when EMS responded to the scene, but due to Wonka's strict non-disclosure agreements, we may never know exactly what happened. Common decency would have meant that the Wonka tour be delayed. After all, one of the children had almost died, but Wonka callously soldiered on. There would be more tragedy up ahead, as Violet Beauregarde fell victim to the cursed tour. This time, the incident was described as an allergic reaction to one of Wonka's test lab treats. Newsline contacted the FDA to see if they had heard of the incident, but they claimed they don't get involved with the safety of foodstuffs until they hit store shelves. Should a sane person trust Wonka's treats, knowing of Violet's severe allergic reaction to an unknown candy? Despite losing 2 children, Wonka's cruel tour continued on. Unbelievably, yet another child suffered an injury. This time it was Veruca's turn. Somehow she fell right down a garbage chute, which caused her father to dive in to save her. Sources say that William Harvey Wonka provided no assistance and half-heartedly asked one of his mysterious dwarf employees to check the garbage chute for Miss Salt's hopefully alive body. Mr. Wonka was so unconcerned by these incidents that he continued to offer the tour, cruelly acting as though nothing had happened. Sadly, there would be just one more victim in Wonka's factory. Mike Teavee, who, like Violet, also suffered as a result of Wonka's crazy testing laboratory. Yet again, Newsline was stymied by its attempt to discover the full story, but EMS records seemed to indicate that Mike was crushed somehow. Miraculously, he survived. So what did happen in Wonka's factory, and why has Mr. Wonka gone to great lengths to hide these events? If even half of the stories are true, it paints the story of a near-homicidal maniac, not the mere eccentric Mr. Wonka has painted himself to be. Perhaps the key to this story lies with the poor Charlie Bucket, who was apparently the only child to escape unscathed. When Newsline tried to contact Charlie's mother or grandparents for an interview, we discovered that they had all been moved onto the Wonka compound, far away from any scrutiny. According to property records, Mr. Wonka has transferred a large ownership stake to Charlie Bucket. Is this hush money? What could Charlie possibly know that Mr. Wonka wants to keep quiet? We can speculate, but Wonka's silence and nefarious dealings seem to point to something huge. This isn't the only shady thing Wonka has been involved in. Slugworth Candies Incorporated has filed a lawsuit against Wonka, alleging that he hired a scary-looking imposter who called himself Mr. Slugworth and scared young children. The lawsuit claims that Wonka was trying to scare children away from Slugworth streets. In actuality, there is no such person as Mr. Slugworth. Slugworth is just a name the company invented. That case is still pending. And what about those mysterious dwarf employees? Where did they come from? Did Wonka bring them into the country legally? And is he paying them under the table? The list of possible violations at his factory is mind-boggling. We might never know the full extent of Wonka's alleged wrongdoing. The wily Wonka appears to be very good at skirting the legal boundaries. Perhaps someday we'll find out exactly what happened behind Wonka's mysterious gates. Until then, we can only speculate and worry about the mysterious Candy Man. This has been a video from Ralphland Productions. When on the internet, visit Ralphland at www.ralphland.com.